All right, today we're diving into a really fascinating and pretty advanced protocol for hair loss. Let's break down exactly what our source material says about how this whole thing works.
So let's get right to it. What are we even talking about when we say a peptide protocol for hair loss? Well, the strategy laid out here is super multi-layered. So first things first, let's cover the basics.
To get a handle on this protocol, you've got to understand the main player, peptides. Now, put simply, they're just short chains of amino acids. Think of them like little messengers, or text messages, that tell your body's cells to do specific jobs. And that signaling power, that's the absolute key to this entire strategy.
The protocol kicks off with what you could basically call a direct assault. Phase 1 is all about an intense, localized treatment that goes right after the problem area, the scalp itself, head-on.
This initial attack has three main steps. First up, there's a theoretical block that's applied to the scalp, which most likely gets the area prepped for treatment. Then comes the main event, direct scalp injections. And listen, these aren't just simple shots. We're talking powerful regenerative stuff like exosomes and stem cells, plus a healing peptide called BPC. And finally, you follow that up with hyperbaric oxygen therapy to really boost recovery and crank up the effects.
Okay, so after that initial blitz on the scalp, the strategy totally shifts gears. Let's look at phase 2, which pivots from that external attack to providing long-term support from the inside out.
So this phase involves a 3-month systemic course of peptides. Instead of just targeting the scalp, this means you're introducing specific peptides into your entire body. The source mentions ones like BPC, TD4, and GHK, all known for their healing and regenerative chops to provide this really broad internal support.
But that internal work doesn't stop there. On top of that core 3-month course, the protocol suggests adding yet another layer. Peptides specifically designed to get your body to produce more of its own growth hormone.
So, why bother stimulating growth hormone? Well, it's all about kicking off this incredible biological domino effect. The peptides tell your body to release growth hormone, which in turn boosts another factor called IGF-1. And the endgame here is that IGF-1 improves your vascular health by increasing something called VEF.
And let me tell you, VEGF is a huge deal here. It's a key protein that basically tells your body to build new blood vessels. For your hair, this is absolutely critical. It's kind of like upgrading all the tiny roads and highways that deliver nutrients and oxygen to your hair follicles, making sure they get everything they need to really thrive.
All right, that brings us to the final phase, and this one is all about synergy. This part of the protocol is about bringing in other therapies that work with the core treatments to complement and just boost the overall results.
So this supported phase means continuing with things like the hyperbaric oxygen sessions, but also adding in other beneficial therapies. The source specifically calls out red light therapy, which you often see delivered through things like red light caps.
Okay, we've walked through the direct attack, the internal support system, and the synergistic therapies. So now, let's zoom out and put this whole picture together.
I think the most crucial takeaway here is that this is not about some single magic bullet. The protocol laid out in the source is a really comprehensive, multifaceted strategy. It's designed to hit the problem from the outside in, from the inside out, and with ongoing support to make sure all the bases are covered.
And you know, all of this leads to a final, really interesting question. When you see these complex, integrated strategies that combine so many advanced therapies together, you just have to wonder, is this what the future of hair restoration actually looks like?